Cox, thank you for being here. Welcome. Say hi to Bill Squire. He's right over there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share a cold one with the boys.
Mary Santora is out. Poundcake back in Studio G.
Afternoon, white people. Happy Thursday?
It is a Thursday.
Thursday,
yes. It's the day after International Women's Day. Isn't it Women's Awareness Month or something?
It's Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. They get 3 more days than Black History Month, Poundcake. How do you think black women feel about that? Do you think that they consider it a wash? They're like, well, I'm black, but I'm a woman. I mean, you know.
Well, they've always
we get 2 consecutive months.
They've always been underestimated and underappreciated, so I'm sure they feel a ways about it.
Does your mom feel underappreciated, do you think?
Yeah, she's a woman, she's a black woman, and she's a nurse.
And she's an accomplished black woman.
Yeah, so she's always feeling undervalued. And that's why I call her and tell her, like, Mom, I need you, and I need some money, so we got to make sure you keep working, and I will appreciate you along the way.
Man, he's got it, doesn't he? He's pretty slick. He goes, this is how I make my mom feel needed. Mom, I literally need you to give me money.
What am I going to do? This big, scary world.
It is a big, scary world, and you're only 30. How can you be expected to navigate this big, scary world all by your lonesome?
It's not fair.
It boggles the mind. Anyway, hey, if you'd like to join us, we would love to have you. 216-578-1007. 800-348-1007. We got the after hours line up and running again. And boy, a lot of calls from Jenna. A lot of, we went
to make up for lost time.
Yeah, well, they were just sitting there, unbeknownst to the people who called, because we were having some issues with that line, and they're all fine now, but there was a huge backlog of voicemail. So I'll play you a couple of hers this afternoon.
All right.
Comedian Kevin Bozeman is going to be in later on. I always love when he's in.
One of the funniest dudes.
Very
so
funny dude. Yes, I feel like he kind of flies under the radar with a lot of people, but you will never leave one of his shows being bummed out. He's doing Hilarities this weekend. Love catching up with him. What else? You can text if you like. 35192 is that number. I upgraded my phone. I upgrade my iPhone every few iterations of the iPhone. I don't get the new one every single time because the differences are negligible from what I've been able to see. They're like, oh, we got a new camera, and you can open it with your eyeball, and I don't need all that crap. So I went from like an 11 to a 14 Pro, except it's been real buggy, and I'm not sure why. Like every morning when I open it up, my wallpaper is all gone. Like the picture of my kids that I have as my regular wallpaper, it's always black now. And I have to shut my phone off and then turn it back on, and it's there. It's been kind of buggy. Do you have a 14?
I have a 13.
With the 3 camera lenses on it?
I have a 14 Pro.
You do have a 14 Pro. So you and I have the same phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you finding it to be, I know that the bugginess comes from the OS, not necessarily the phone, but I had the same OS on my last phone, and I didn't have the issues that I'm having with it. And again,
What did you say was going on with it?
Well, they're aesthetic issues. I mean, they're not, you know how you have like a wallpaper on your phone, the picture, right? Well, my picture, it's always, when I don't even know what triggers it. It'll just be black, and I'll have to put the picture back on the wallpaper, I'll have to turn my phone off and then turn it back on, and it's there. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I've never had that. I've had other glitches, like stuff freezes a lot. Like when I'm scrolling, it'll just be stuck, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a connection issue. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm using data right now. It should be working just fine. So sometimes the screen freezes, but it's never gone completely black. I will say. Is never completely black.
Yeah.
I've woken up in the morning and like my Face ID, I think it's because my face gets puffy in the morning. It doesn't recognize me.
It doesn't. See, I don't use Face ID. I just have a PIN code, whatever. The Face ID thing, I always think of those movies where they like kidnap somebody and then use their face to open their phone.
Well,
and
too late for that. Like your phone literally knows everything about you. So what's the difference between a passcode?
But if Alan gets kidnapped, they can't use his face to open his phone. They got to cut fingers off until he gives them the passcode.
That's right. Yep. Okay. So, no, I don't, it's like set up Face ID, because I don't use Face ID and I don't use Siri. So, But yeah, it's just been a little bit buggy. And again, it's not some quantum leap in the phone. They're like, I was reading, what can you do with it now? Because it's fun to get a new phone, but I'm always like, what can you do? The dynamic island on the top of the screen now. You can see what other things are running at the same time. Like, I don't, what?
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta drill down and maybe use the camera more since everybody's, that's kind of what they hang their hat on now with every new iteration is the camera is amazing. Like, okay.
I mean, I will say as someone who's been recording content more recently, the camera is like top notch. Like it doesn't even compare to like my Droid that I used to have for all those years. So that's one thing. That's one reason why I made the switch. I know one thing with the 14 Pro, and I'm not getting paid to say this. I love the little bar at the top that shows you like when you're talking on the phone, it shows you like your little bar.
That's what I'm talking about. That's called the dynamic island, and they're like, you can see all the
That's
other.
neat.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean,
it's not worth $1,000 more,
right?
but
it's all neat, but there's people aren't standing in line for hours to get the new iPhone anymore.
Every minute you don't tell us why you're here, I cut off a finger.
Mine or yours?
Yours. Damn.
That's gonna be me if I get kidnapped. I'll cut off a finger. Mine or yours? Yours.
the whole finger.
Damn. The whole finger?
No, the one next to it.
Cruel.
Again,
That's
Bill Squire at the Funny Stop. Is that where you the Funny Stop?
March 31st and April 1st.
Yeah.
And Cody Cooper's making his return to stand-up
Oh,
comedy.
yeah. Cody Cooper is
for the
very
Saturday
funny.
show only.
There you go.
He's going to be featuring for me on the Saturday show. And
He's an Alan Cox Show comedy tour alum, isn't he?
Yeah, and then right before the pandemic, him and his wife had a baby, and
Adorable child.
Yeah, cute little kid. And then when things started opening up again, he just wasn't as motivated to get out and do comedy because he was spend time with his kid, which I completely understand. But now he's getting the itch again, and I was like, he came out and did High and Dry last week, and he crushed. And I was like, you got to do comedy more. So I'm kind of twisting his arm and forcing him to get out there and do more stand up because he's such a funny dude.
Yeah. Okay, let me take a break here, and then we'll get into it. If you want to send a text, 35192, you can watch at AlanCoxShow.com, and we will be back.